Hi, everyone. Listen, today is a very special day, and let's just discuss about one particular word. They say trend. And you know what, when it comes to trend, what happens when you hear the word trend? Most people, they chase trends. Some try to catch up with them, but a rare few, they create them. A few people, they actually create trends. So they are not scrolling for inspiration. They're building what the world didn't even know it needed. So tonight, three of us, we just want to talk about a man who doesn't just follow what's hot out there. He redefines what is possible, right? A man whose mission isn't like to impress algorithms, but to impact generation. Who else if not Mr. Ash Mufara? And in this episode, we just want to ask you one question. Ask yourself, am I following trends or am I setting them? So let's discuss this in the chat, whether you're watching live or you're catching up at some point. And so before we dive in, of course, I am very, very happy and excited today to host our dear friend and big brother, Madi Degamo. Welcome, welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Does that mean I'm going first? Uh-oh.
Yeah, you can. If you want to just say hi and
Anyway,
you can say hi.
hello everybody. I want Collins to be able to say hello, and then we'll get started. We are going to talk about trends. Like Comfort said, 99% of people chase trends. That's what makes them go viral, by the way. And there's a very small percentage that create trends. We are the fortunate few to be in that business. Anyway, thank you. I thank you for all your prayers. I had 70 days of, I don't know how else to say it, but hell. And if it wasn't to the grace of God, I would not be here. There was many, many nights that I was in my mind saying goodbye. Anyway, let's turn it over to Collins. Thank you.
Indeed, you had to stay. You just needed to stay because we had to create trends, Marty. That's why you are here. So welcome, Mr. Mana.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Comfort. I just want to appreciate our brother Madi, for God's grace that he is here. He says it's not by his might, but it's by the grace of God. They say God has a purpose for every life. Even Jeremiah said, I know the plans I have for you. If your plan is not fulfilled, there's no way you can depart from this planet Earth. Because before the day you were implanted in your mother's womb, God already shaped your way, and he knows what you will do to impact humanity. And by the grace of God, God chose Mr. Ash Mufara to deliver what all of us has been looking for, And I'm just so happy with the topics that come for. Thank you for this topic. He said, we do not follow trend. We set them. We do not follow, but we set them. This company do not follow, they set them, Mr. Ash Mufara. And this is a really powerful statement. Mr. Ash Mufara is building a global AI IT company. And what do? They build software solution for what? For normal people like you and myself, and for medium, small, and large corporation. So he is developing, making sure he close the gap, that gap that we are missing, company are missing, and someone will say, okay, if you are following, what do you need to do? Are you not buying them? Yes, you need to buy tools and services. Other companies also rely on others for their tools and services, but they are developing. Software development company relies on other ability to build. Microsoft will rely on Oracle. Google will rely on this tool and services, but people have their things where they will develop. The tools are there. You need to come up, and some of them develop the tools. This company is one of a kind that will develop not only the tools, but the software services to you, which all of us will use and company will use. So they are the creator. They are creating trends for all of us to follow. Now, when I look at it, Comfort, if you permit me to go more, I was looking at this, at the trend, and I said, we're talking about company like Ash. We said he doesn't buy, but he developed, because some company only buy to use. He developed for others to buy and use. and this is what is coming. He developed so that other company can use. Maybe it can be a marketing company, it can be a human resource company. What are they using? The world is moving into technology. The world is more technology driven. And we're talking about technology software. Now it is more about AI driven. We are talking about AI, a company that is induced. Everything they are doing is embedded with AI to make sure they can meet the human demand. The world is moving too fast, very, very fast. Population is growing. And for you to meet human demand, you can't just build a normal software. You need to automate it and then induce it with AI so that it can be robotic to do fast-paced job. Just imagine a job that 1 billion people can do. 1 billion people, that's a one person, or you just talk about few thousands in a factory or anywhere, even in an industry or company. Something that you would do for 4 days, computer driven by AI can do it per second. That is where we are moving. And Mr. Ashmofara looked at all of these things. He said, you know what? We need to move. We cannot follow the same trend, because you cannot do the same thing and expect different result. What will be good? What good will it be for you to build something that is already existing? Nobody will follow you, because there is, like Maddie is a marketer, customer loyalty. People are loyal to certain things. For you to make a difference, you must build something out of extraordinary to make people to see it. We're talking about this company is about innovation, which is not about, catching up, but it's about leading the way. It's about innovation, not about catching up what is happening, but it's about leading the way. This company is about innovation. They innovate, but not by looking at what people are doing, but they try to lead the way, that this is how innovation can be done. And I wrote something that said this company is not the source. It is the source of tomorrow. So they are building technology for tomorrow's generation. It's about leading. So they are not following trend, because if you can think about building something where if we are dead and gone, it will leave lasting legacy. Maybe they start to develop some. I said, if we think about something too now, say there are something now, phase 1, maybe they are already in phase 30, thinking about 2040, 2060, or whatever the year. Maybe we are dead and gone, but they've already prepared technology for tomorrow's generation now. And there was something I started thinking about it, thinking about the company. The company is not chasing big things. They are the next big things. They are not chasing big things, but they are the next big things. This company is about building something that is bigger, but they are not chasing that big, and the company doesn't follow. It doesn't follow, but they create, as I said, they create things every day. So for you to be able to create, to live with trend, you must create it, while others will follow. I follow brand, but I'm not the creator of brand. I buy iPhone. Am I the creator? Steve Jobs, who even brought the idea of iPhone, is dead and gone. But every day iPhone 16 is there. We are waiting this December, maybe iPhone 17 will come out. We are just dying for the brand. So, Mr. Comfort, I will leave it there. Take it over.
Yeah, sure, exactly. We can say so much. I was thinking, like, when you said some people create the brand, the blend, the trends and so on, while others just buy and use. And one thing I want to make an observation here, that buyers and any other person like you iPhone buyers and so on, we just blend into somebody's trend, and then we move on along, we swim along, and we don't check. But then those who set the trends, what do? They sit behind, they stand outside of the crowd and look and say, what is missing? And I have seen what's missing, and I can make it, I can create it. I think that is where Mr. Mufare fits in. Marty, let's hear what you want to say, please. You need to unmute yourself, Marty.
It's a good thing I was cussing. Just kidding. No, I have a lot to say. I love the idea of the company and talking about trends. trends make the world go round, right? We know that. We know that Apple had the iPhone, the Mac, the iPad tablet. They now had a watch. They had some type of audio. And 2 or 3 big things happen. And they're a $3.2 trillion company. 3.2. Now, what did they do? They created a trend. They got people so in a shark frenzy about the iPhone. They talked about it a few months ahead. This is coming. It'll do this. It'll do that. It'll do. And we didn't see behind the scenes. We don't know all the fights and people that probably lost their job. People argued over stuff. But when the outcome happened and the smoke cleared and they had the final, here's your iPhone, it was a hit. And the trend started. Now people are buying brand new iPhones and they don't even need them. That's crazy. That's crazy. And when you talk about a company that's worth $3.2 trillion, what? And they only have 4 or 5 products. Now I want you to picture, with us, the trend will be we're setting up products that are in high demand and needed. Personally, small business, medium-sized business, large business, and the very large business. Well, let me go over a couple of things because I have some stuff I wrote down once I realized I could come. We're going to be trendsetters in the AI field, right? Which is pioneer innovation that matters, right? Offering high value at a low cost. Very important. Everybody wants to take off their bottom line. Everybody. I don't care if it's an individual or even companies. There's companies spending probably 100,000, if not more, on video conferencing. Just a question, common sense. What would happen if something was introduced that was 60 to 70% cheaper and has all the bells and whistles? Are they in love with the company? Are they in love with the 5 top companies? And I'm not going to mention names. No, they're in love with what they can do for them. But they're more in love if you can do something for them and give them a service without emptying their pocket. That's a trend. Here's another trend. Our company, and I want people to hear this that are watching for the first time, it's shifting the model from profit first to people first. I know you're shaking your head. Nobody does that. You're right. Nobody does it. That's why it's a trend. Do I believe it's true? I know it's true. I've been here over 6 years. I've watched it happen. The aim is for people. The outcome is you're going to get paid, because the ingredients of unpassive is above market value, more for less, and pay you commissions on what they bring in. Uplift humanity for every step of the way. Part of the building of the company is making sure we put a hand down and lift people up. You guys can name 55 companies that do that. I'd be happy. I don't know who they are. That's a trend. That's creating a trend. Sharing the revenue. Yes, that happens. But there's limitations on how much you can make. They determine, and a lot of times you have to buy more to make more. Unpassive is a different animal. It's unlimited. And the main thing, we're not chasing a trend, we're creating the future. AI service humanity doesn't, everyone, this is the part I love. Everyone has a chance to win. You're a single mother in Africa. You're a guy that maybe you have some kind of disability, seen or unseen. The company doesn't care if you can't walk. It doesn't care if you're black. It doesn't care if you're white and fat. Thank God. It doesn't care if you're bald. You got a lot of hair. You're whatever. It just does not care. The design from the beginning, the trend would be you come, you build it, they will come. And he attracted people by heart, from their heart. There's a lot of you out there that think that will never happen to me. This is your answer. You're right, it won't. But if you happen to see this and you take the opportunity to come in and really look at it and find out what's up. Now it's launching to the world soon, but you can get a hold of anybody. Say, put me on the list when it's ready to go. I want to at least come see. And nobody that I know of, and this is 20 years experience, nobody in this business pressures anyone. You know why? If you have a winner and you have a amazing product, it's above market value, high demand, do I have to really talk you into something? You're using it anyway. We're not chasing trends like we said. We're sending them our mission, affordable AI tools that empower people everywhere at a low cost. At a low cost. So I just want to emphasize again, if you've been out there all these years or 5 years or 5 months, I don't care, and you're one of the 98%, 99%, you've done everything you can. You've tried many businesses only to end in a failure. It's not your fault. It's rigged against you. And not only do you end in a failure, if you're the first one in the business, you got a whole bunch of family members that are mad at you too. Because I want to tell you something, as you go from these businesses and they say, invite your friends and family, everybody you invite is inviting the same friends and family you did. So by the time you get your fifth friend and family, they don't have a big list, because most of the people that get ready to invite, you already did. So they don't even make enough money to pay their first month's auto ship. I'm just saying, I want nothing more than people that have a good heart and want to uplift humanity to see this, because it will truly change your life. I believe it with all my heart. So I'm going to turn it back over to Comfort before I talk too much.
You're allowed to talk as much as you can, Marty. So guys, thank you, Marty. So guys, if you just, maybe you were just passing by and you stumbled on us here, we want to believe that you are looking for solutions. You have questions and you need answers. So we have followed trends. You might have been in a trend, you're just buying this or you're creating that and doing stuff, because what we realize is that trend chasers, they actually build with fear of being left behind. Yes, I just want to build because this other company is building this thing. I just need to do it too, because if we don't do that, we're going to lose our customers, But what does a trendsetter does? They build with faith in what is ahead. And that is what Mr. Mufara is. That has always been him, like Collins was saying earlier on. Ash is sitting here this minute building the future, the technology of tomorrow. He's sitting here now and building it. That is for our generations. He is actually working on legacy and not disposables, and not because I want to imitate and be on and measure up with other people like the giants in the house and stuff like that. So what many companies, they copy each other's platforms and do all of those things. They steal features here and there. We've seen stuff like that, crossing paths and so on. But Ash is calm and collected. He knows what he wants, right? He builds things that do not even exist yet. That's why people are like, oh my God. But then, so platforms, systems, and whatever, Ash is capable of doing that. And he takes his time. This is something he's been nurturing like forever. When you listen to his story, I think he started thinking about technology when, I'm not sure, like it was a rare thing, right? So he's been nurturing this, looking at stuff, growing, and then discovering more and wanting to do more until he is where he is now, So what Mr. Mufara is doing is not about legacy. It's more of a revolution, It's more of a restoration of what you and myself, the layman, has lost, because we tried it and it never worked. We tried following trends, what other people do, or what other people build, following trends of what their colleagues, their partners, their counterparts were building. It never worked for us. That is why he says, listen, these 97 to 98% who don't make it, it's because they've just been using what trend chasers do. They chase the trend, they copy exactly what the other person did. However, he says, no, we can do it otherwise, and it can definitely work otherwise. It can really flip the table around, and everybody can have a piece of this cake because there's just enough in this industry, just like in any other resources around the world. And he is doing it. So we're just very, very excited. So whoever is watching this, whether you're just starting up a business, or you're planning to start, or you already have one, you just need enhancement and stuff. You want to watch this platform, you want to watch people, a group of people or an individual, you hear them talking about what Mr. Mufara is preparing to release to the whole world, because there's solution for every and anybody at all. So that is how we know that he is setting the pace, he is setting the trend. He is not copying and pasting. He is bringing solution. He's bringing change. And that's what everybody's looking for. That's what has been missing. So Collins, you say again, please.
Thank you, Comfort. Just, when Maddie was speaking and you spoke to, I was just thinking about a lot of things, in my head. And I was thinking about companies that create trend, like Maddie said. There are few companies that create and majority follows. It can be companies, because sometimes it can be medium size, small corporation, and even large company. They do buy a lot of software. So they are like trend follower. They can say, all right, I like this brand because of this, because of this, because of that. But now, if you are that majority that follow trends, what is your price point? They spend a lot. This company is a blessing. What Ms. Ashra is putting together is a blessing, because you can follow the trend, but how much do you pay? Is it sustainable? Are you making profit enough to even take care of your employees? Even if you are a normal individual using it, how much do you pay? Are you making the amount as a sole proprietor what you can take care of your own family? No. But what if there is a company that will develop something different, bring something in the market different, that will not be only futuristic, but the price point is a killer? Will you say no to that? If you say no to that, then you are really crazy, because you think like, how this world is moving more into technology. We are talking about the IT stage, where for you to be able to be sustainable in the market, you must use a lot of software. You must have hardware, you must have software, because you want to have that market exposure. What if there is a company that will provide something that will be beneficial, where you will maximize profit and minimize cost? Because at the end of the day, put everything, the first will say, how much is it? People don't have a choice, because Maddie said there are few creators of trend and most of us follow. How much are you putting? Because those few creators, they determine the price. They can sell it at what price. You don't have a choice, because we are moving now into that age where you cannot do without it. What if there is someone, someone who will just come up and say, you know what, we cannot give it for that. It's about humanity. It's about blessing others. Of course, we don't need to charge this. We don't need to take so much. Though we want to run the company to make sure the company is sustainable, but we will not rip you off. Will you say no? Of course, you will not say no. This place is for you. For those who will listen to this, know that there is something great coming. Something big that will change, your company, your life, your personality, even the air that you breathe in will change. The way you walk, the way you think, because you'll be thinking about your business and say, though the government is asking me tax, but I'm not spending a lot of money for the software I use for the product. That is a no-brainer, because the government can tax you a lot, but what if there's a company who say, you know what, there is something here where you can use to reduce that cost? Will you say no? This is where we are talking about Mr. Ash Mufara coming in to build something that would change, that would transform the business atmosphere, and that would transform even our own normal life. All the product I will not use, but there are products that I will use it to enhance my own life. my own life, communication tools, you know, things I'm protected. There are things that I know that, all right, I'm on this platform, I'm much protected, because real value is not about money. Real value comes from the product you use. You know, I mean, I'm on this platform, I'm happy. I can communicate everywhere without fear of this or that. This is what Ms. Ashmofara is doing. Bringing tomorrow's technology for today and building something for the next generation. So Comfort, I will leave it there.
Yeah, I'm always struggling to unmute myself. Yeah, it's quite exciting, and guys, so we don't hype because it's nothing about that. We just share because it's so exciting. We have an idea, having known Mr. Mufare since 2018, and depending on whenever we joined and got interested, there's something on the way, something different that will transform people. And one thing that after listening to you both, one thing came to my mind here. I was thinking like trendsetters, I think they do that with humanity in mind. Because why should you do something like what Mr. Mufara is doing and want to give it away just for a significant amount of money and not, and not break vows and not empty bank accounts? So it all has to do with humanity. So I'll let you speak, Martin.
That's it. I mean, you know, we were talking about, I noticed something. I'll give you an example. You go anywhere and you see a Coke machine, right next to it's a Pepsi machine. It's not 5 feet away, it's right next to it. They're together in on this, I don't want to say sham, but they're in on this price control. Ash's machine is going to be by itself, not next to anyone. You can judge, you can look at the ingredients, then you decide. Do you pay $1 or do you pay 50 cents? And I believe that the part that, and Comfort said it, why anybody could have did this, but who would have done it? Hey, I can't wait to start a business, get the crap kicked out of me, treated horribly, and spend millions and millions of dollars, and 10% of the people that are in the very business I'm trying to uplift their life, they are bad mouthing me and lying every day. One person, Ash Mufara. Why? Because he sifted through all the manure and he's looking for diamonds. If he sees somebody and they're 99% no good, Ash will find that 1%. I've learned that from him. I used to judge too quick. I used to look at people and say, he's this, he's that, and I was wrong. And one of the main things I've learned in this company is patience. People don't always mean what they say. They're scared. They don't know. Now there's some so-called leaders doing exactly what they want to do because they're taking advantage of people. This is my opinion, only because of my background. But I think if you're watching this, I don't care if you're 35 to 95, and I talked to a guy, he couldn't wait to retire. He retires and realizes, well, wait a minute, I have to live on 60%, 40% less than what I made. And guess what? I'm getting older, so the healthcare bills, like we talked about earlier, Comfort, are rising. Guess what he does? He hands out smiley faces at Walmart. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure the last 35, 40 years he was working, he never envisioned that his retirement days would be putting stickers on people with a smiley face. Is it a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing. But you are not going to change unless you grab something that will help you change. Individually, we can't do it. But we have an opportunity where this magic carpet ride is big enough if you just get on it. And the trends are going to be open. We look at a lot of companies, they seek and they devour. I'm going to make a better this, and I'm going to blow that guy out of the market. It happened for the last 30, 40 years. Barnes and Noble, Walmart wiped out Kmart and all these other stores. But here's the facts. Ash is not here to do that. Will some companies indirectly get or directly get hurt? Obviously. Obviously, if he comes out with video conferencing, it's going to hurt people directly, company. But the tools in the long run, in the big scope, is going to be CPR for the small business, the medium business, and the large business. Why? The tools they're using now, right now, could you imagine if it saved them millions of dollars a year? What does that mean? Maybe they hire more. Maybe they do more for research and development. Maybe they, you know what I mean? It's all an uplifting other companies too. I believe we will take companies and help them become very, very successful because we are a service. We're going to provide service for others. We look at this too small. We look at it like just me. You know, somebody said, well, I'm never going to use that. Let me tell you something. If you could own a Walmart, there's a lot of things in Walmart I'll never, ever use. Ever. But if it's going to be sold, I want it on my shelf. And I want to make a commission off of it because somebody needs it. And this company is unlimited. You can own, and listen, you don't have stuff in your garage. I talked to Chris Johnson today. His mom and dad were in Amway. They still got soap and stuff in his basement. It was good stuff, but guess what? 60, 70% markup. So you had to convince people this is 60 to 70% better than what you can get at the store. Do I have to prove that with unpassive? No. With unpassive, I go, come here, check this out for free. It's 20, 30, 40% less cost, and I'm going to pay you a commission. If that doesn't make the hair on your neck stand up, you're already dead. You have died and left this planet. And this is for everyone. I don't care if you even understand what I'm saying. Translate it. I'm telling you, this is what you want to get into. Follow one of these people, go to somebody. I don't care if anybody watching joins me. I'm not worried about that because I know what I have. And I know I'm going to help thousands of people get moving up if I can, because that's what the nature of the business is. The trend is I am my brother and sister's keeper. If you're not that type of person and that doesn't ring your bell, you may not want to be here. That's okay, because you will be a customer. So you can be part of it or you can partake in it. I don't care, but I would say jump in and be part of it. Anyway, that's all I had. It was a lot of fun, and I'm glad I came.
I know, and me too. I'm really glad. I'm glad you came. It was really a blessing having you back here. And of course, we cannot discuss enough of trends, and especially setting trends when it comes to Mr. Mufara. Guys, if you are new, you're finding this, whether accidentally or somebody shared it with you, do not blink. The solution that you are looking for, whatever solution, is found here. So, Collins, I'm not sure. Do you have a quick last closing remark, or we call it a day?
Yeah, just one thing Maddie said, which I'll just close it with it. You know, when people said, oh, I will not use, why am I thinking about this product? I will not even use it. If that's how Mr. Ash Mufara was thinking, then Mr. Mufara will not even build the product, because not everything he is building, he will use. He is building it for others. You know, other company, like, let's say we are talking about Microsoft. Microsoft have dozens upon dozens of products. Is Bill Gates using all those products? None. Even the data, maybe none, maybe just one. So they are building it to enhance, you know, businesses and our own normal life. You go in, you see what you want. You say, wow, I love this. Maddie gave good example of Walmart. The owner of Walmart, I don't think he even knows what is everything that is in his shop, in all those shop, Walmart shop. But he goes in and just pick exactly what he wants. But he is selling that for others. Because without that, how can you fulfill stuff, your dream, and others' dream? You build human resource software for those who will use it to run their business. You build video conferences for those who need it. You build whatever, accounting for those who need it. Not for himself. But he knows that if I build it, this thing will change somebody's life. It will make your own life easy. That's the reason. That's the mindset of great inventors, to transform others, to make your working life better, to make your own social life better. So that's what I want to add. Madi said that my head just explode. But Conrad, I'll thank you for this great topic.
And I want to add one thing. The products are the fuel to uplift humanity. They are the fuel to uplift humanity. And they will help people that maybe weren't involved in that. I don't care. But it is the high octane fuel that will paint this world a different color. And I don't care if you got a 1-inch toothbrush or paintbrush, 1 million people, 2 million, 10 million, 20 million, painting with a 1-inch brush, you'll change the color. You'll change things to a rosy color. Anyway, that's all I have. Don't say any more. I won't stop.
I know, sure. Thank you, Marty. Thank you. So whoever's watching this, guys, we just want to let you know, if there's one thing you want to do yourself now, is being patient and then paying attention and just follow. Hold on to whatever you are doing and watch this platform. By this platform, where a few of us here and there discussing this very business, it's because we want you to know that that thing you are looking for is available somewhere. It's on its way to you. So it's going to be different. We can assure you. So we love you. Thank you so much for coming, for watching. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, Collins. And